What's up YouTube, Cardboss here. Today on episode 3 on Binder Talk, we're gonna go outside the usual wheelhouse of sports cards and Marvel, venturing to another popular genre, Star Wars. So what I have here is the Star Wars CCG, or customizable card game, which was developed by Decipher Games about 26 years ago. Now the card itself is already out of print, but the game lives on through a strong cult following, and the cards itself is quietly attracting strong prices in the secondary market today. I'm actually quite familiar with this product, as I played this game between 1996 to 1999 before spending the next 20 years on Magic the Gathering. Just so you know, I got all these queued up and ready to send a PSA. I'm just waiting on a cheaper service to send this in. So you can probably recognize some of these characters that I have in front of me. I got Darth Vader here, Luke, Boba Fett. Now, what's different about the Decipher's version compared to, say, the original 1977 Topps or the Wonder Bread is these foil or chrome variations, which today's collectors and investors markets are considering a premium, and people are willing to pay a bit extra for the nicer look. So I'm going to start off with this Darth Vader here, which is actually from the OG set called Premier that came out back in 1995. It's the equivalent of the Magic the Gathering's Alpha or Pokemon First Edition, but the Premier set didn't come with any foil variations. So as you expect, gaming cards like this were printed in the tens of thousands because they were meant for gaming, and thinking it could be the next Magic the Gathering. But the game itself slowly fizzled out 6 years later, back in 2001, which so happens to be the time when Magic the Gathering started to really boom. So now, 20 years later, there is some renewed interest in a bunch of these OG stuff, including this Vader here. And a recent slab PSA 9 of this exact Vader went for $500. And you could still buy raw copies from eBay today for under $80. But remember, these are gaming cards, so a lot of these cards, especially on the card backs, were played without using sleeves and over kitchen tables or carpets, which is why you see a lot of copies that has a lot of scuffings on the back like this, okay, and mint copies, for the Vader, is currently fetching a premium. So when you move over to the foil versions, like the two Lukes I have here, okay, so they actually appeared in sets called Reflections back in 1999 to 2001. This Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight is actually the single best card in the entire game, and the raw copy, you could buy it off eBay today for about between $200 to $300, in generally fair condition. And same like the Vader, right, because it's so very played, especially being the best card in the game, it's quite hard to get mint condition. And moreover, this particular Luke is what we call the ultra rare or a case hit. So again, it's a tough find, okay. And if we look at the graded versions for PSA, it's a Pop 14 at the moment with only one PSA 10, and BGS only has 2 copies graded, and both are just mint 9s. I just did a quick check with eBay at the moment. So a PSA 8, which is a Pop 2 and 9 graded higher, is priced at about $600. Now that would mean that I would expect a PSA 9 or a 10 to be in the range of roughly, say, $1,500 to $5,000, and that's a pretty significant step for any trading card. It's similar to any 90s basketball ultra rare insert. So I got some other examples here, which I won't delve into much detail about them. Okay, so I just gave you guys a pretty good idea about the game itself. But what do I generally think about the potential, investment potential of the Decipher Star Wars? Now we know Star Wars as a genre has a huge following, and its memorabilia is extremely sought after. But I think, much like Formula One, the interest in cards is just starting to pick up, and there are tons of Star Wars cards out there, and as the brand was licensed all over the place from the 80s to the 90s and up to the early 2000s. But personally, I like the history that's behind the Decipher CCG, and for collectors currently holding on to a bunch of these cards, which are in mint condition, could be sitting on a gold mine and might realize its full potential between the next 4 to 5 years. And why I say that? This pen this date, 2027, 50th anniversary. Go figure. Cheers.